Well, good afternoon, my stamping friends. It's Leslie with Love Ink and Paper, and I am here to share some fun alternatives for your January 2024 lovely lavender paper pumpkin kit. So there's my January host code. I probably am going to close that out at the end of this week. But I do want you to remember that now is a great time to make sure you are a subscriber so you get February and March's kits. It's a great time to hit some of those paper pumpkin sweet spots for celebration. Get yourself a 3-month subscription and get a free gift as well. Okay, so if you need any information about that, please let me know. I would be, and you are in the United States, I would be happy to help you out with that. So these were the cards and projects that we made just as is, just the way the directions told us when we unboxed the kit late last week. Yeah. Oh, Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Anyway, so the cards are lovely, but my sort of issue is that you have all this beautiful stuff that gets sort of wasted, in my opinion, if it's on the back. So I played around with some things. Plus I wanted to do, to make this into like a little gift, not necessarily just a tag, but something we could do with this. So what did I come up with? Well, let's take a look at this first card. So this uses the back of a card base. Okay, so I should have one of each of those things right here with me, and I do, but they're just a little farther away. So I cut one of these card bases apart and made each piece 4 by 5.5. And then I was able to cut those down and use them. So this piece is 4 by 5.25, and I'm using, so it would have been wasted. It was the back. And so I'm using that as a card front on my gorgeous grape piece of cardstock. So I did add a few things to the kit, okay, but I tried hard not to add too much because I know some of you really try to make the most of your kit and not have to have a lot of extra stuff, okay? I did use a couple of punches, and again, a little more gorgeous grape cardstock. This piece is 2 by 4, okay? And then this piece, which comes from the other card base, okay, that was the same front and back, is 4 by 1.5. So that's just going to go right there. Okay. And then I used the decorative circle punch out of Highland Heather, which was one of the coordinating colors. And then just a circle of a basic white. Okay. So we're going to use our gorgeous grape ink. All right. And I pulled in a stamp set that is part of the lovely Lavender suite. Okay, this is part of that. It's perennial postage. It's bundled with some really fun dies that all look like postage stamps. They have that cool edge. I didn't happen to use those, but I did use some greetings out of that stamp. And so for this first one, because it will fit quite nicely on this size circle, I have the Happy Mother's Day. So I'm just going to stamp that here. I really like these fonts, some script and some not script, which I like. All right, so that's nice and clean. All right, so let's start putting this together. And then, oops, I almost forgot we have that twine, which we can use as well. So let's put this flat and this whole piece bumped up. So, and remember when I'm doing a video, I do tend to use some of my things that make it a little easier. They are available in the online store. My Stampin' Seal and the more ergonomic blocks and my bigger pad. I just tend to, those make it just a little bit faster and easier for me. All right, so put this here. That looks good, like that. Let's get this one. This. Okay. That, and then we'll put some dimensionals on this piece. Sometimes when I'm doing a circle, I do more like the points of a clock, and sometimes I just do 3. It kind of depends on how many come off of the sheet when I bend it like that. All right. Here's that. All right. Now, oh, we could even add, oh yeah, let's do that. Oops, I may have to move that just a smidge. I may have to move this just a smidge. Don't worry about that. That's going to be covered up. It'll be fine. I realized that I needed to move this over a little bit if I was going to fit this nice big butterfly. And I think I want to make it a little darker. So let's put it on here. And I was using a blending brush and my gorgeous grape. And I'm just going to darken those edges a little bit more. There. All right. So that was one other product that I added, and they are part of that suite as well. Where'd they go? Here they are. They're called the Paper Butterfly Accents, and they're all laser cut. They're really nice, and they come and they pop out of there really nice and easily. But I left mine in when I inked them, and I got that. Isn't that fun? So I may just trim that off and use, oh, excuse me, I've got the hiccups, and use that as a layer on a card. I think that would be fun. All right, now that we have a little more ink, and this is going to show up. Now, I could also have left it white. And actually, I'm kind of thinking I might like that better. So we're going to use the slightly smaller one. I'm going to turn the purple side that I already colored, and I'm going to put it on there on the white side. I like that better for this one. All right, so then I'm going to use some of the glue dots that came in the kit. And I'm going to just roll them because I've tried even cutting the dimensionals into really tiny pieces. It just doesn't work all that well. So I'm going to just find a spot and take take this off and just kind of roll it. And that way I'm going to get a little bit of dimension because this is rolled. So it'll have a little bit of depth. Let's see if I can take the backing off first and roll it while it's on the plastic. Nope. Did not want to do that. All right, well, that's okay. All right, let's try one over here. And you don't need too many because it's pretty small. All right, let's see if we can roll that up a little bit. Okay. And one more on the body, I think. And that should hold it in place. There we go. Okay. Let's see if we can just roll. There we go. All right, now let's try that white butterfly. Right. Oh, that's so pretty. And so it's got a little bit, you can see a little bit of shadow under there. Not as much as a dimensional, but it has some. And then let's put a little double bow real quick. Okay. And I do sometimes have to dampen my fingers and then just pull on this. And you can use either just your fingers or you can try your bone folder and just kind of pull to straighten that out. When it's on a really small spool like this, it tends to get pretty curly, which makes it hard. Now, I don't tend to take mine off of there. I'm going to just double it up here and just do my little double bow like this, because then what happens is I don't waste as much. Okay, you'll see I have very little waste here once we get those pulled. There we go. Okay, so when I trim this, I knew my snips were here somewhere. When I trim that, that's all my waste. Everything else is on there. So if I had cut it beforehand, I might have cut off too much and then wasted some. So I try not to do that. All right, let's use another one of our glue dots. And just put that on the back. And again, I'm just going to roll it a bit once I get that off of there. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we can just kind of roll that there. And it's right on the back of the knot there. And we can just put that right there. So there you go. And did I bring them over? Nope. I did get the purple gems, and they could have been on this table, but if you could just see this table, you would realize why I can't put my fingers on them right this second. Anyway, there's our first card. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's set that aside. And let's go to our second card, which also uses a paper butterfly and is also going to use a greeting from Perennial Postage, and that is thank you for your friendship. So I have a very thin piece of basic white. I think that's the only one I didn't measure for you. So it's a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. Everything else has its own little sticky note on it. Okay. So I have a thick white base that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm gonna just make sure that when I scored it, I did a good job. Sometimes even when you score it, you sometimes get, it goes a little wonky on you. So you just have to kind of make it work. There we go. All right. So then we have a piece of fresh freesia and we have a card base piece. So this piece of the card base is 2 3/4 by 4. Okay. And the piece of fresh freesia is 3 by 4 1/4. Okay, let me just put those right over here like that for you. Okay, while I'm getting those set up. There it is. So we'll put a little seal here, like that. Okay. There we go. And then we will add this to the card front. Now I could have embossed this. I didn't, but I could have by lining up the folder just with the score line and just embossing the front. I could have done that. But instead, I decided we are going to have some other things. So then this piece of card base, sorry, I got to take a quick drink, you guys. I got one of those dry spot tickles in my throat. Oh, that's better. All right. Nope, still had a cough. All right. So this piece is 2 1/2 by 4, so it's going this way. Okay. Did I mean to do it that way? I almost think I meant to do it the other way. Hang on, I just want to look at something. No, I did it right. Okay. You know what though, now that I'm looking at that, I think I want that a little narrower. I'm going to grab my trimmer and not have it be 2 1/2. I think we're going to cut it down to 2. Okay. So cut it down to 2. It's covering way too much of that pretty stuff. I don't want it to do that. So we'll keep that little piece for something else. Maybe we could put it in the inside. Oh, I could do that. Just put it in the inside or something. Okay. Whoops. Or throw it on the floor. That works as well. All right. All right. So, oh yeah, that's better. More of it is peeking out. I like that a lot better. Okay. And I think I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. So we're going to put dimensionals way out at the edge and have it pop up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to add our butterfly here, but we're going to add the purple one. We're going to add it on the purple side that I colored. I think I'm not going to fuss with those. These glue dots are a little bit easier to deal with. All right, so there's my take your pick tool right where it should be, and it's much easier to roll these glue dots than it is to fuss with those other ones. There we go. All right. So, if you're watching this live on Facebook, I'm so happy you're here. If you're catching this on the replay, either on Facebook or on YouTube, I sure am glad you're here. If you're on YouTube, I would love to have you click that little subscribe button so that you will be notified when I add another video. So liking my videos, sharing my videos with your friends, that kind of thing helps my channel a whole lot, and I'm working hard to build that up. So if you would do that, I would really like that a lot. All right. There we go. I think that's enough. Maybe one more on this wingtip, just because, you know. There we go. All right. There we go. So we're going to just put that there. And that helps. You can see there's just a little bit of shadow there. Okay. Now I'm going to take this skinny piece and I'm going to use my gorgeous grape pad to put you out of the way. Okay. And this thank you for your friendship. It's going to go right here. Ooh, it's a little crooked. Let's try it again. See if I can do a little bit better job without getting my sparkly hair. Not really sparkles. They're gray. But I've decided that since I'm having a grandbaby, I have a grandbaby, she is here, that I am okay with that. All right, that's still a little crooked, but we can just take my snips and fix it up a little wee bit. Like that. That looks a little better. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks a little better. And we'll just do this. And that helps too. Okay. All of that helps us out just a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do, oh, excuse me. Wow. Something got tickling in my nose. Oh my goodness. What an afternoon this has been. All right. So let's pull out just a couple of these and go right at the very, very bottom edge like that. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of liquid glue up here. And that way, this can kind of balance right up here, like that. You can touch there, just like that. All right. Perfect. Okay. And you could add some twine if you want. You could wrap it around. You could slide it in under there, whatever. I'm just going to leave that. I think that looks really good. Actually, I may end up finding those purple gems and giving that a sparkly body. Ooh, speaking of sparkle, what if we get out our handy dandy Wink of Stella, which I love. And because I added the color to this butterfly, it's kind of moving that color around a little bit. But I like that. It's looking good. All right, so we're going to give that So I'm trying to stay pretty much on this so I don't carry this ink color everywhere onto the back of the card here. All right. So I hope you guys, if you're in New Hampshire and all of that, are going to go and do, you know, that voting thing. It really does matter. I know some people don't believe that it matters, but I am one that believes that you have a voice and you need to use it. So voting for whoever you feel will help take good care of our country and all that good stuff. So when I'm done here, Rich is coming by, my husband, and we're gonna go vote, grab some supper, and then I'll be back at 7. I'm not sure with what yet. I know, that's crazy, right? But it will be great. You know. All right, so there's card number 2. Now, I did say on Saturday that I wanted to do a card where we did a pocket so that our tag or bookmark could be tucked in. All right, so this is what I came up with. And I think we're going to put that. Well, I haven't quite decided. Hang on. We may just add the words that say, just a little something for you. We can put those on the back. And let's see what else we can do here. Okay. Then you could sign this part. Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to need some twine here. I know my snips are out here somewhere, but I set them down. Oh, here they are under the dimensionals. All right, let's move those pieces because we're done with that one. Okay, grab my bone folder and see if we can't straighten this out a little bit. Okay. All right. There. All right, so how did I make my pocket? All right, well, I made my pocket. Just ignore that score line. We're going to cover it up. I took a 4 1/4 piece of by 11 piece of thick basic white. I scored it at 1 inch and at 5 1/2. Okay, so then it's going to go like this. So it's going to make our pocket this way. All right, but we're going to give this a good score. Good burnish right there, and a good burnish right here. Okay, there. Then I took a piece of envelope paper and I cut it to 4 by 4 1/4 because it's not quite square. So it goes up under here like that. Okay, so we're going to add that to the front. See, I told you wouldn't even notice that I had that score mark. This was a card base I had left over from a class when we did Z-fold cards. All right, so we're going to just pop that there. And you can choose whether you want to glue this down, or we could use some of the twine and tie around it. It kind of depends what you're putting in your pocket. Okay. So I think I'll give it a little bit so it won't be fighting the string, the twine. But, all right, so then I have a couple of pieces of decoration for the flap. All right, so we have the 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4 inch piece of gorgeous grape. Okay. So that can go here. Okay, whoops, it's a little long. It's amazing how sometimes 4 1/4 isn't 4 1/4 on every. I must have cut them on different paper cutters, which seems weird, but true. All right, then we have a 1/2 inch by 4 inch piece of the envelope paper that I trimmed off. There we go. Okay. Like that. All right. And then we can take some of our twine and just wrap it around here a couple of times. Whoops. And then we're just going to tie a knot over on this side. Okay. Well, maybe we are. My fingers feel fat all of a sudden. Oh, come on, go through there, would you please? It's harder when you're trying to keep tension on it so that it. There we go. That one. That was better. Okay, there we go. There. Okay. Now, our cute little tag can tuck right in there. Okay. Like that. All right. So, now we could put that one's just a little bit big. I'm going to pull out a smaller one. And you'll be able to see how easily they come right out. Sometimes they get stuck, so you have to be a little bit gentle. Okay, so I think we'll use this size, this medium-sized one, and we'll do need a little piece of. Oh, you know what? We can grab one of those labels from the kit that was specially made for that word love. Now, I didn't use a whole lot of the die cuts on these. So, because I used some other things that I could have. All right, where's my little width? There it is. Okay. How are we doing? Oh, we're doing pretty good. All right. There we go. Let's grab a couple of these. And a couple of these. Oh. There we go. All right, so now get all these backings off. Add with love, like that. And then we'll add some glue dots to our butterfly. Okay. All right, a couple of glue dots and we'll be good to go. Right. Right there in the middle, and we'll get one right up here, maybe one more right there. Feels like that will keep it nice and secure. Okay. One there, and one right up here, I think. There we go. Okay. There we go. So now when you send that, and you could always write on the back or something if you wanted, or you could even put, I was going to even make a insert, and I had it cut. What did I do with it? There it is. You could even slide, I used a piece of the bottom of the envelope. You could even slide something else in there, okay, like that. Put that down in there and peek that out. And then they could pull both pieces out, right? You could add something to this. You could add some of the die cuts if you wanted to. You could even, I think, yep, if you made the tag as shown in the directions, it will still go in there, okay, even though this is up on dimensional. And if you were concerned about it, you could just put this flat instead, okay? So that way you can send a little something, a little note, and then they have a bookmark or a tag or whatever they want to use that thing for. Okay. All right, so let's use that one. Let's get some of the rest of this out of the way. Move my butterflies. And let's bring back all of the things. And then, oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me show you a couple of other things that I did that I didn't really end up, oh, I did use one of them. So all I did for this was I took the stamp, the Big Love, I inked it in our white pigment ink and embossed it with white embossing powder. So I heat embossed it, okay? And then I just fussy cut around it. Sort of to mimic those die cuts that came in the kit, right? These. So I made some of my own using the stamp, and I just made it white on the Gorgeous Grape. So I did a couple of those. I also used the die cut that is part of the add-on. Where'd they go? Oh my word, you guys. I'm telling you. Oh, here they are. So that add-on that is going to coordinate with this kit, the February kit, and the March kit. So I took this and I cut it out of Gorgeous Grape, and then I hadn't cut it yet, but I could easily fussy cut around that as well. All right, so lots of ways to get that involved. All right, so you could just stamp it, you could die cut it if you have the add-on dies, or you could stamp it and emboss it on another color. So lots of ways to add things to your cards, right? All right, so we have our pocket card. We have this butterfly card using part of the card base, and we have this one using what was the back of this. Okay, so there we go. So some fun alternates that will give you some ways to make extra cards. Right, so lots of fun things that you can do with those pieces that came in your kit if you add just a little bit of cardstock. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm glad that you were here, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye-bye.